Sweeney, welcome back. How does it feel to be a Mansfield Town player again?
Yeah, incredible. Obviously been away a couple of years now, and then once the opportunity arose to return to the club, it was something I was really interested in, and I'm really looking forward to putting the shirt back on.
What conversations have you had with the manager Nigel Clough this time around?
I met him a couple of weeks ago. He got in touch, just at the end of the season, and wanted to see if it was an option for me to come back. And yeah, we just spent a decent amount of time together. Just talking general football and where he sees me fitting in here this time round. So yeah, we had a good chat. And then once I had those conversations, made me even more interested. And I'm really looking forward to it.
What was the big pull then to come back?
For certain it was the gaffer. I've worked with him previously. Obviously when he first come in here, and I think the stability of the football club and the way it's been progressing since my time off, it's a club I've kept a real close eye on. It was a huge pull that. It was one I wanted to get done.
You enjoyed a good spell overall last time, didn't you? We just couldn't quite get over the line.
Yeah, the first season, I don't know how we didn't do it, but yeah, it was brilliant. It's a club I've got a huge amount of love for and respect for. They've got some fantastic people here, and even going back to the training ground and seeing, I just kind of forgot how good the facilities were there. It was a, like I said, there was a lot of things that tick boxes for me coming back, and I'm really looking forward to it.
How have things progressed here from what you've seen early on since you were last here, Sweeney?
I think when you look at the training ground, they're trying to do little bits to it. I know this season, even coming back, I believe there's going to be people in the fast stand there next season. So yeah, there's all sorts of things going on. I think when you look at the quality of the squads the club's had over the past few seasons, it's improved every year. When I saw them get promoted, I was absolutely delighted for everyone. I've still got a lot of friends here. Obviously last season playing them, we had a couple of real tough games against them, and I'm looking forward to being part of that.
Let's rewind the clock for a moment. When you left a few seasons ago, I think you stated you wanted a new challenge, and you went to Dundee, had a very successful time there, lifting the Scottish Championship title, and then you spent the last couple of years with Burton Albion. So during that time, how would you say you've advanced on the field?
Yeah, I think I'm coming back sort of a more rounded player. I joined here sort of early 20s, and you're still trying to find your feet in the game. I've gone away, experienced some incredible things, like moving up to Scotland and things like that, taking my family up there, which was challenging. And then playing in some good games up there, some big games, and then obviously coming back down, I joined Burton, and I've had two real good years there. It's a fantastic football club. Obviously sort of last season we didn't start the greatest, and I think the gaffer there, Gary Bowyer, come in and gave us a bit of stability, and done an incredible job to go over the line. I think it's a wonderful achievement that the club's still in League One. So yeah, for myself, I've been able to play games, and touch wood, I've managed to stay fit as well, which is brilliant for me. And yeah, it's one I'm looking to kick on now again.
How has your game developed then?
I think in terms of sort of when you get a little bit older and play more games, you're used to situations, and your reading of the game gets better. Your understanding of it gets better too, especially in the position I play. So yeah, I think all those things. I'm certainly I'd like to think a better player coming back here, and like I said there before, I'm ready to kick on again.
You were the skipper at Burton Albion, and you picked up 2 Player of the Season awards last season. Speak about the captaincy there. How did that affect your game, would you say?
Maybe not too much, to be fair. I know I like to try and be a leader on and off the pitch. The way I play, I like to try and set examples in the way I go about it. But yeah, no, it was obviously a huge honour to captain Dundee and lift the trophy, which was a real milestone in my career. And then second half of the season, I had the armband at Burton, which again was a huge honour. Had a decent relationship with people there and the supporters and stuff like that. They really got behind us. So it was, like I said, in them two occasions, it was a massive honour.
An incredible season at Burton from the outside looking in. I mean, at one point you looked doomed to fall through the relegation trapdoor, but ultimately you pulled off an amazing act of escapology.
Yeah, absolutely. When I probably said at the end of the season, it's one of my best achievements I've had, actually. When you look after sort of, coming up towards 30 games, we were, I think a lot of people were probably saying who's going down with Burton. And yeah, like I said, it was the work that the manager had done coming in with his assistant Pat and the rest of the coaching staff that gave us huge belief going into that running towards the end. And I think once we climbed out of it with about 5-6 games to go, we managed to stay above the line. I don't think we were ever dropping back in. So yeah, no, it was just a huge credit to everyone there. And like I said, I've made fantastic friends there and had good relationships with people. So yeah, no, it was a real good time.
Back to here, and who do you still know in the Mansfield squad from your previous time, Sweens, and beyond perhaps?
Yeah, Deji's one. I've known. I think this is my third club with him, actually. So, and it was, we were chatting, saying I actually made my professional debut with Dej. So yeah, no, it'd be brilliant to get back with him and see him. Someone I'm friends with and on and off the pitch, and someone I rate really highly. So yeah, Dej is one, and I think there's a few others, George Maris and Maka and Jordan Barry, who I knew from before. So yeah, there's still a few people behind the scenes, obviously, I know as well. So yeah, it's going to be a real good time.
I take it your debut with Deji was at AFC Wimbledon, but I imagine he would have been playing in midfield and you in defence.
I think no, it was actually me and him centre half.
Oh really?
Yeah, it was me and him centre half. So yeah, he was brilliant to play with, because like I said, he's probably not the tallest, but I think his willingness and aggression to go after things and win things probably makes up for that.
How could you complement each other at the back, or how did you?
He's probably a bit quicker than me, you would say. But yeah, no, it's one of them. I think when you sort of play that level he has, it's good for me to play next to someone like him. He's, like I said, I'm aware he's had a real good season here last year in his first year, which is not surprising at all. So yeah, no, it's going to be fantastic to play with him again.
Your final thoughts, Sweens, as you return to Mansfield Town?
Yeah, nice. Listen, I'm absolutely delighted. I'm excited to get back here and play, because I know what this stadium's like when it's packed out and rocking. So yeah, no, I'm absolutely buzzing. I'm delighted it's done early as well. So I know where I'm at, and I can get settled back in relatively quickly. So yeah, I'm over the moon to be back. And like I said, it's a club I've got a huge amount of love and respect for. So yeah, again, I'm just absolutely delighted to be here.
Good to see you back.
Top man. Thank you.